Saudi Arabia has threatened the Qatari government with a coup if the nation does not help to fund the United States military in Syria. Saudi foreign minister has issued a statement saying that the Qatari troops should replace U.S. troops in Syria, or Washington will withdraw support for the country's government. The threat is the latest in a series of disagreements between Saudi Arabia and Qatar going back to June of 2017, when the Saudis blockaded that Qatar port. Qatar is home to one of the largest U.S. air bases in the world. For more on this, we go to our panel tonight. John Sitilides, geopolitical strategist at Trilogy Advisors, is with us, and Daniel Lazar, journalist and author. Gentlemen, good to have you with us tonight. This is, on the surface, John Sitilides, a big issue for the Trump administration. This is going to be a defining moment on just how involved they're going to be in the Middle East. How do you see this unfolding?
First of all, on the comment from the Saudi foreign minister regarding Qatar's position, it's a rather unusual and somewhat groundless speculative statement to make on behalf of the White House that would ultimately decide whether or not there's going to be a major U.S. airbase in Qatar. It's not up to the Saudi government. So rather unusual in that regard, and really something caught up more in the historic enmity between the Saudi ruling family, the Al Sauds and the Al Thanis of Qatar, that dates back to the 19th century and is caught up now in modern times to the support that has been alleged about Qatar and its ties to Iran, and also its support for Muslim Brotherhood. And I think, frankly, because the Qatari government has been the financial supporter for the Al Jazeera news network that has put out many reports that have been very problematic for Saudi and other Sunni Arab governments in the region.
Daniel, is this what happens when you buy a bunch of arms from the United States? You get to throw your weight around because you know the United States is going to be there for you. You're a good customer to them, and I'm talking about the Saudis. This is quite a threat to Qatar. How do you see it?
Well, I think it's just more craziness out of the Saudis. The Saudis are at war with virtually every country around them: Syria, Qatar. The UAE, they've had friction with. Yemen, they're destroying. This country is on the perennial warpath and can't stop making trouble. The idea, Trump's idea of inserting Gulf state troops into eastern Syria is crazy, but this latest threat just makes it even crazier.
What remedies this, John Sitilides? I mean, they want the support for what is happening in Syria to oust Assad. This could really up the ante.
Well, to a certain degree, Ed, remember there's a precedent here. This goes back to the 1990 war and the coalition that was organized by then-President George H.W. Bush, Bush 41, in bringing together a significant Arab coalition to help oust the Saddam Hussein regime from Kuwait. So there is a precedent for Arab countries coming to the support of common goals and objectives in the region. In this instance, though, keep in mind that the United States and Qatar enjoy very strong military-to-military ties. As you pointed out in the lead into this segment, we have 10,000 troops that are based in Qatar at one of the largest Air Force bases in the world. We have 100 aircraft over there, and they're absolutely essential to the U.S.-led campaign to destroy Islamic State in Syria and Iraq, as well as to support the government against the Taliban in Afghanistan. So, yes, Saudi Arabia and Qatar have a number of issues, along with Bahrain and with the United Arab Emirates teaming up with Saudi Arabia. The U.S. is not going to take Saudi Arabia's side in this dispute. It's not going to take Qatar's side. It's going to try to encourage all the parties to resolve this as peacefully and as quickly as possible.
Dan, what would a coup look like in Qatar?
Well, a coup in Qatar would be involving some kind of Saudi military offensive. It's just very hard to believe because the Saudis are really all talk and no action. They do have a formidable air force, so I guess the Saudis could try to bomb Qatar, but it's really hard to imagine, especially with 10,000 U.S. troops right there. So
yeah.
I can't see the Saudis doing anything at all. It's just empty bluster as far as I can tell.
Okay, Dan Lazar, John Sitilides, gentlemen, thanks for the conversation tonight.